I myself personally know to an extent what it is like to deal with someone around you using drugs. Before I was born, my father was kicked out of the house and out of me and my mother's life because he was a drug addict as well as a drug dealer. I don't know too much about the story because my mother generally avoids talking about it, but what I do know is that he wasn't a very nice person. I'm honestly glad that he has nothing to do with my life because if he did, he would probably impact my life in a very bad way. I have lived all of my life without a dad, but you know what? That's okay. Anyways, I'm just saying the drugs can severely affect everyone around you and their lives. It's called collateral damage, and it hits hard.
Have you ever went through anything like Logan? Well, my group and I have come up with a solution for improving the community around us. The idea is to start a community center called the Anti-Drug Community Incorporation, or ADC Inc. This community center will decrease the use of drugs by people all over the community.
One way our community center could decrease drug use, eventually impacting the world around us, is by telling teens and other people the risk factors of these drugs. For example, 1 in 3 people who die from suicide are under the influence of drugs. This means 1/3 of every person commits suicide because of drugs. Another statistic about drug use is that over 7% of adolescent suicides may be complicated by drug and alcohol use, meaning that 70% of teenagers commit suicide because of alcohol and drug use. A reason these teens may be taking these drugs is because they're depressed, and our community center will be just the right place for cheering a person up by showing the happy and right side of life.
An alternate way our community center could decrease drug use is by enlightening people through fun activities. Okay, you don't have to give me that confused face because some people resort to drugs because they have an unbalanced life at home, work, and basically everywhere else. People might be stressed out because they're having difficulties getting their priorities straight, or they're unhappy with their lives and where it's going. You might not believe what I'm going to say, but these stressful and overwhelmed people utilize drugs because they think that they need a break from, well, I have no idea. Anyways, resorting to drugs is the last thing you should ever do. Or wait, let me change that. Resorting to drugs is something you should never do in the case of stress or any other life problem. Fun activities like watching a movie, playing games, blowing bubbles, meeting new friends, and other things like that are great things to do.
The last way our community center could decrease drug use is by telling teens or other people to pick better friends.
Oh, hey dude, what's picking better friends gonna do with drug usage?
I know. Let me just tell you that some of your friends can influence you to do something negative. This is called peer pressure. For example, teens with friends who do drugs and drink alcohol are more likely to do the same. This means that when your friends are doing things that you aren't, you get influenced and end up like them. Did you know that for a fact approximately 30% of 8th graders have used illicit drugs and alcohol use? And if I were to take an educated guess, I am pretty sure this spread through peer pressure. I'm going to show you an example of peer pressure with these cars. I will now be showing you the example of peer pressure with cars. So let's say you're in a group with friends and this big car is the big guy. This is the big guy of the group. You see, like he's all big and bad, and so he's going to do something bad. Boom. And then here comes the next big guy. He's going to follow that other guy. And then here's you, like, oh, I don't want to do that so much. So then you get influenced by these two cars, and boom, something happens to you, and this is basically drugs. They put peer pressure on you, and you get influenced. So teens out there in the world, just be mindful on the friends you have, or you might just end up as those 8th graders.
Our community center could impact the community by welcoming citizens in the area to meet other friends,
to learn the risk factors of drugs,
and to do fun activities to show them that life isn't as gloomy as it might seem to be.
Our community center is the best decision to make if you or a loved one is going through a drug addiction.
Soon you'll be living a drug-free life if you join our community center. Bye!